From the center of the galaxy, this is ForceCenter, a show about Star Wars, pop culture, and the ultimate adventure, life itself. I don't know why I'm rushing through this intro. I'm Ken.
I'm Jen Lando.
I'm Joseph Grimshaw. I thought I'd rush with you, Ken.
I just suddenly felt like I've got to say all the words that I had prepared in our head. Anyways. We're here. This is ForceCenter. We're here to talk some Star Wars news. Just a little bit of news out there. We're going to dive into big casting rumor report. We'll speculate along with the rest of the Star Wars galaxy. And we'll answer some Star Wars little mini questions and, catch up to as well. Before we get to all that, we want to remind you of a couple things. Our show is brought to you today by our own merch shop on Fourth Wall. That's right. Check out our merch store. Pick up a T-shirt, help support the show. Maybe get a pint glass, a coaster, something like that. Represent ForceCenter out in the galaxy or in your living room. Football season's coming up. If you're a football fan and a ForceCenter fan, you can drink your favorite beverage in a pint glass. I said the word beverage. That is too official. That is too ad copy-ish. You can check us out at forcecenter-shop.fourthwall.com. forcecenter-shop.fourthwall.com. Check it out there. That is one A down, the advertisement, but now we have an ask, Joseph.
Look, beverage is better than fluid.
It is.
I think you're doing great. Yes, we are always attempting to build and to grow. And in particular, we are building towards a goal where we would love to get to 10,500 subscribers on YouTube. We have had a decent amount of growth. We're at 10,182 plus 34 in the last 28 days. I don't know the reason behind YouTube having the metric of 28 days, but I recently watched the film 28 days later. So now I'm kind of frightened by that. So that's nice. Anyway, we would like to get to 10,500 subscribers. And when we get to that goal, we're going to release a classic episode of Star Wars Ranked, and we're going to add exciting new visuals. So if you are not a subscriber on YouTube, check it out.
Check it out. Check it out. The numbers are going up. We really appreciate it here as we continue into what will be our 11th year, 12th broadcasting year, although I don't want to jump ahead to 2026 yet. I want to enjoy the rest of this year while we have it. Speaking of enjoying life and our adventures, we try to, at least. We try to catch up. Jen, we bring you in here for what I'm sure will be wonderful life adventures.
Nothing Star Wars related other than trying to calm my mind. I went to a water park in Orange County. It's a water park hotel. I think I've mentioned it before. The Great Wolf Lodge. It is heaven for children. It's overwhelming if you're easily overstimulated like myself. But it's a lot of fun. The margaritas are great for the adults. The kids run. It's an indoor water park, I should say. It's like 84 degrees in there, so it's hot. And kids are just running around going. And I took my kids and their friends, and I challenged myself by going down some water slides. And I was terrified. I'm going like on a raft thing. No, it wasn't a raft. It's like a foam carpet, and you have to go on your stomach, head first down this tube. And I'm like, this is just not good for a person my age. But I did it, and I survived.
So if you're going face first, where how do you not just smash your face into the water at the end of the tube?
You just trust the process, and then at the end of the tube, I'm like, I don't know where this leads to. It like opens up, and then it like throws you out, like it's like vomiting you out of the tube. And it's always funny. The kids always like effortlessly just kind of get out, but the parents, the adults, are always like and like flopping around on their backs and whatever. And that was me. It was very awkward, but it was fun. It's like, all right.
Do you land in a pool?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, you land in like in a lane of water. So there's like 3 or 4 lanes for each tube.
Okay.
Spits you out into your lane of water.
Jen, you're describing my hell, my personal hell. Kids screaming, water slides, pools, public.
Face first, mouth open, swallow that water that 1,000 people have been in.
Oh my
gosh. Public displays of fun. So what I'm saying is kudos to you.
Yeah. I would have been the same way. The only thing that I do is because my kids love it, and it keeps them entertained away from screens. They had too much ice cream and whatever. Anything goes.
Hey, they deserve it. I can't do water slides because when I was a kid, I was a little scaredy cat kid. That was one thing. But I had heard some of the horror stories that probably weren't true, probably just urban legends of people getting stuck in the tubes or getting injured. And so I was like, no, there's going to be some screw sitting there that's just going to take my skin off. I'm like 7 dreaming of this, so I just can't do water slides. I just can't do it. So I give you all the props.
No.
It happened at a cruise. Did you guys see that?
See,
it happened at a cruise.
A screw took the flesh off of a person, just like ripped off all their flesh like a skin suit.
Part of the panel, the plexiglass panel from the tube fell off, and the person went whoop. And then there's video of rushing water coming down, and people are like screaming.
What happened to the person?
They hushed it up. They said they were fine. I think it was like a Royal Caribbean cruise.
Did it dump them into like the Atlantic? They go off the ship?
No, I think it dumped him onto the deck. I think.
I'd rather have that than swimming with the whales and sharks, whatever the hell else is under there.
Yeah, you don't want that. Yeah,
no.
Okay. Well,
sorry.
You were mindful of the living force, Jed.
Sorry that we took your nice story of taking an adventure, trusting the process, letting a tube take you where it needs to, and finding joy, and turned it into terror.
Yeah. Good job, Jed. Less excitement for me. Do want to shout out the fine folks that came out to my show at the Flappers for the Burbank Comedy Festival yesterday. Eli from Star Wars in the Galaxy and 8984M, aka Brady, Kai was there. We had a great time. He actually brought me a bag of peanuts for the squirrels, smuggled it into the show. It was great. We had a good time. I did have a little. I'm slowly reading that Kira book that E.K. Johnston wrote and put out about a year or so ago. Like slowly, not because of the book, just life, but like it's like a chapter a week pace. But I got 2 chapters in this week, and I'm enjoying it. And there was no spoilers, but there was something early. It's early in the book, and Kira does something kind of horrible. And I went, "That's my girl." And I was like, Is that why I like Kira? That she's violent? I don't know. But it was a spectacular moment. I'm excited to go forward in the book, and it's been fun to revisit one of my favorite characters. And proof that sometimes we get overwhelmed as Star Wars fans because there's so much stuff out there, and the comics and the books, and we're so behind on High Republic, all this stuff. You could just go at your own pace. Enjoy Star Wars at your own pace. It's been fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice to just have it as a, hey, which one do I feel like reading? Mm-hmm. Because I don't have to be on top of everything.
Indeed.
Do you think you like that Kira is a kind of a different character for Star Wars? We are given lots of empathy and understanding of where she's coming from. But then to me, there's also this sort of pleasure in like, well, I don't think it is morally correct, but she is a character who has decided, I will do anything to survive, and I'm going to be ruthless. And I think there's some sort of there's some catharsis, even when you don't agree with a character, when they're extremely clear on their ethos of, I'm going to do anything to survive. And it's sort of pleasurable to watch that, even if I don't agree with it morally.
Yeah, this was kind of the first big step in that direction, this moment that kind of I reacted to in the book. So yeah, absolutely. And it's that, I know the character was crafted originally as this classic femme fatale, and I think Kira's so much more than that. And Emilia Clarke brought that to the role. But yeah, I think exactly. There's she's in a tight spot, to quote "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" And you want her out. You know what happens, but it's like you're reading this character discover how best to do that while keeping in line with what she's trying to accomplish or what she thinks she has to do this. And she makes this big decision. That's why I was reacting. Not just the violence. It was violent, but yeah, the victory.
She put somebody down a water park tunnel? Is that what happened?
Yeah. Lady Proxima was like, pour down the tunnel, Kira.
I could see it.
The one with the screw in it.
Yeah. Rebolt, take out the bolt. There we go. That was my adventure. You,
good
sir?
One. It's a good one. You should read to the squirrels in the morning. I think that would be a perfect way
to
get in more Star Wars reading. Yeah, I think for myself, I'm just working hard on the film, heading into like real crunch time on post-production, which means like lots of things are happening at the same time in terms of visual effects and color correction and sound design and score, and trying to make it all come together and make last minute choices. So I think my Star Wars adventure has just been thinking about all of the lore about the making of the first film. And I think a lot of my headspace is in like, I'm looking for those Marsha Lucas make the Tusken Raider rock back and forth moments, looking for those Ben Burt moments where like that sound design is really changes the entire thing.
Mhm.
And yeah, and I think also really relating to um, where Lucas was at with like kind of early showings of it when to friends when it is not even remotely complete, and like only Spielberg could really see what he was trying to do, and everybody else is like, why did you do this, man? It sounds it always sounds really good to like go and make something unique, and then sometimes you're like, oh crap, I made something unique. What if everybody hates it?
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
it's great to say somebody made something unique when a lot of people like it. It's a little
Yep.
scary when you're like, oh no, but
Yeah.
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 So thinking about the behind the scenes magic of Star Wars a lot, and taking inspiration.
And I'm sure you're succeeding, but I know that horrible feeling of I'm going to take a risk, especially if you do it in front of a live crowd. We're like, they didn't like the risk. They did not like it. Was too risky. But
Well, yeah, and
you
some,
feel good doing
yeah,
it, though.
yeah, no, yeah, yeah. It's
Mhm.
and sometimes it is absolutely the right risk to take. So we'll see.
You know, yeah, I know film's bigger scale than performing live, like we all have, but just that moment of we after with some stuff. I really like that thing you did. It's like good,
Mm-hmm.
good, thank you. It was different. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, well, good for you. I'm glad. I'm just glad you're here. That you're got your head above water, even though you probably figured,
Yes. Yes. I don't think
wow,
any hospital stays, so doing better than poor George.
poor George. Well, let's get to some Star Wars news. Like I said, not a lot out there, but there's a rather large story to talk about. We will say up top, Obi-Wan Kenobi in Ahsoka season 2, maybe, but there goes the. Well, I can't even call it the rumor train. There goes the quotes taken out of context and running wild out there on the internet. We'll update you if we all know that Obi-Wan Kenobi is in season 2 of Ahsoka, and I, for one, hope so, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We have got Starfighter casting news. I'm sure you all saw it last week. It's our chance to dive into the story. Matt Smith joins Starfighter cast. I'll say question mark because you can still file this one under the reportedly and also the deja vu files. I got to say, a lot of great jokes. Y'all nailed the jokes on Matt Smith, actually, this time sticking in Star Wars. We know the Rise of Skywalker story. That ended up being, true from a certain point of view. Justin Kroll of Deadline first reported that the Doctor Who and House of the Dragon star Matt Smith is set to join the cast of Star Wars Starfighter. There are some other rumors out there that might have more specifics, but then just reports and rumors. The role is said to be one of the villains. Perhaps. No official response from Disney, Lucasfilm, or even Matt Smith yet, though this did break later in the week. So maybe they're all just recovering from waterslides on the weekend and they'll confirm the reports. Starfighter is still set for May 28th, 2027 release. So let's go to the story, Jen. First reactions to the reports. What do we like about it? Any reservations? Where do you go?
I think I'm at the point now where I'm kind of tired of the sources say or in talks or had meetings, these kinds of announcements, because they're not really announcements. I mean, and maybe oftentimes they are true, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I like it when Lucasfilm or whoever says definitively, this is the person that we cast. This is the character that they are playing. I don't know. It just feels like then I can really dive into what it means and like how I'm feeling. I don't want to get burned. I feel like we've gone down this, been in this rodeo before, and I don't want to get burned again.
Specifically with Matt Smith, or are you talking about just in general, or both?
I think in general.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think in general, right?
Yeah, no, this is also perhaps a conversation about the news cycle and maybe what Lucasfilm could, should, maybe, would if they were allowed to do about it. I think that comes up a lot. It's fine. This is a movie reporter. This is Deadline. This is, Justin Kroll's been around. So that's going to happen. That's his job. That's his business. But like, I just wish, it's Monday. Confirm the story or not. Let's just get on with it. Get on with it, but that's maybe a larger conversation, which we could have later here. I don't know, but I want to get first reactions too from Joseph.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm definitely in the same place where I am eagerly awaiting a more formal announcement, because then that makes it very real. I don't think there's a lot of reason to doubt this reporting because it is from Deadline, and I think this is even the kind of thing where I think sometimes the studios are like, yeah, let's double announcement. Here's a soft announcement with no confirmation, and then we'll do a thing at D23 with Matt Smith and Mia Goth, and I hope they do. I think the thing that I'm curious about in this news cycle is how much they're going to make kind of big official announcements and make a show of Starfighter before Mandalorian and Grogu comes out. Because a part of me was like, even like, oh, that'd be so great if Matt Smith and Mia Goth come out on stage for D23, and maybe they will. But I wonder if there's a, like, we want you to be thinking about Mandalorian and Grogu right now. Or if they're treating Mandalorian and Grogu more like, it's a quickie for fun, and we're putting our entire backs behind the 50th anniversary Star Wars film that's moving the timeline forward. So I wonder if there's a little, like, how they're going to handle the balance of promoting both of them, and if one of them's going to, take the spotlight.
I really agree with that, because one of my gut reactions here too is just like, if we're gonna get official confirmation, make something of it. Not just like a D23, that'd be a lot of fun, but that cast photo from Force Awakens, right? The script read, like that was so much fun. I know we're not gonna ever get that again, but meaning Force Awakens was this kind of once in a lifetime Star Wars is back kind of thing. But with Starfighter, yeah, your 50th anniversary year, like there's a lot to it. Like I'd love to just have some pomp and circumstance, and maybe this report is not in the plans, but I do, it's not just a matter of agreeing with you. We know this happens where studios or managers or teams get the information out the way they want the information to get out. In fact, that may be why Starfighter exists, right? So, but yeah, the Mandalorian Grogu question, Jen, what would you want them to do? Does it need the spotlight on its own until it comes out?
I don't want to say that they're confident that the audience is there, and that there is an audience that will just kind of automatically go see it. I think that they're confident that it will do well. But yeah, overshadowing Mando and Grogu, because I think that people would be very excited to see this Starfighter cast come out. I don't know. It could work both ways. It could either hurt Mando and Grogu, or it could help it and be like, Star Wars is back. I'm putting that in air quotes if you're listening. Star Wars is back. Right? Like, look at all the slate that we have coming up. Don't you worry. Star Wars is an event in movie theaters again. So yeah. When is D23? It hasn't happened yet. Did it happen?
No, let me research that while you go.
Think so.
I don't think so, right? We would have heard about it. I remember seeing.
Yeah, I think it's
August, late August. We're
late
in August now. Oh crap!
That's why. Okay, good.
Okay.
I was afraid I maybe fell asleep for a week and missed D23. Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's plenty of ways to do it. I just think it would be smart of them to have a movie panel and be like, Star Wars is back in the cinemas. First up, Mando and Grogu and Starfighter, and kind of try to get them equally promoted. But I was really intrigued by this specific turn of phrase in this Deadline report that said, reportedly Levy, has been meeting with a number of actors for this key role. Sources say execs made the decision to go with Smith to play the next great villain in the Star Wars universe. That was a very specific thing, I think, with the general agreement that there's been too much Marvel and too much Star Wars. A lot of the things that have come out is like, well, we need to slow down, and we need the whole executive team to, make sure everything is high quality. And I kind of think Mandalorian and Grogu is that's Favreau's baby, and it's already on the tracks, and it feels like there's something about Starfighter that doesn't just feel like Lucasfilm is going off and making their weird space movie. This feels like, okay, we're going to greenlight one of the hottest directors right now, who's also a really great carnival barker, who's going to go out there and promote the hell out of this. We're going to go with one of the biggest current living movie stars. of Ryan Gosling. And then for the side roles, we're going to make sure that they are people who have big fandoms in genres that are not necessarily exactly Star Wars. I have now watched the Mia Goth horror film X. I haven't watched the other two in the trilogy, and she's fantastic. And it is its own little genre. Matt Smith carries all of this, House of the Dragon and, hey, Doctor Who weight with him. So I don't have any problem with any of these creative decisions. These are all great, but they all feel very like Jon Favreau's making his weird little movie with his stunt actors in armor and his puppet and his video screens, and that's fine. But this is going to be a capital H Hollywood movie to make sure it kicks ass from an executive perspective.
I can't disagree with you at all in connecting those dots. And in a weird way, it makes sense if I'm putting myself behind a desk at Disney, which I'll never be at, and quite frankly, don't want to. You know what I mean? It just has that, like, whether we agree or not with how the films have gone over the last few years and 6 years between, films and theaters and all that stuff, and so much to that with what the industry's been up to in the last couple of years. But it just kind of has that. I think you're right. That the part of the article, I think it's very smart to focus on. That it's not like a bad decision that's being forced on John Levy, but just kind of like, yeah, we need to hedge our bets, even if those bets are shareholder, goals and desires. And we need to make this. It's the 50th. It's big that, and yeah, I'm not even cynical about that. I just think it just kind of has that dripping through it. I think you're right. Jen?
Yeah.
Put on your corporate hat.
Yeah. Well, one of the criticisms that a lot of people have are these, quote unquote, by committee type of moves. But in this case, I closed out here. My computer did not like me saying what I was saying. I'm going to say it anyways, computer. I think that the difference here is that Lucasfilm is more, they're more of a collaborative, like smart committee. They're not a bunch of like tech people that are making decisions who have never made movies before. Like they know what they're doing. They know the lore. They know the canon. They know many of these people have been working for Lucasfilm for decades. Like I just think that I trust them. And if they're force, they're getting voices from the force saying cast Matt Smith, then I trust them. I trust their decisions, and it's a great thing. I feel like Ryan Gosling is such a big A-list actor, right? And Mia Goth is edgy and like she has a real cool factor, and Matt Smith is known for like genre, and we'll get into what he brings, but he's so beloved by the geek community that I think that it's just really smart. So I can't hate on them.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to stumble through saying is because I think, and I don't want to put any words in your mouth, Joseph, or incorrectly infer, but it's like, yeah, I do think it is. It reads of a boardroom, but at least I like it right now. Like, okay, cool. Your triangulation of the demographic stats and has come to this decision, and I'm okay with this one. There, it just maybe there's some worry beyond that, but we've seen some of that meddling before. We're looking at you, Bob, Uncle Bob, with your solo, I think, director hiring and release situation. So, anyways, more. Joseph, where else do you go with that? So I don't continue your sentences.
Yeah, no, I think I think the phrase "execs made the decision" is often an open door to that means they are making bad decisions based on accounting and algorithms. I don't think any of the decisions they've made are bad. I think Sean Levy's a good filmmaker. I think Ryan Gosling is fantastic. Wow. I would be a fan of him if I had just seen him do some fringe theater shows. He's amazing. I think he's one of the greatest, most versatile actors, ever. And I love Mia Goth, and geez, with my Doctor Who love in particular, I'm thrilled. I'm over the moon for Matt Smith. So I think these are all good decisions. There's no creative damage to me, but they also, I do also feel the heavy hand of the corporate.
Yeah. As long as they let the creators and Lucasfilm team do with all this as that they will, I think I'm even more confident. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Cool. Well said, indeed. Well, let's dive in a little bit deeper there. As you said earlier, Smith was infamously believed to be part of the Episode 9 cast. Refresh my memory. I think at one point even his name was listed on something officially, right? Maybe StarWars.com story. Been a while.
Remember. I feel like there was definitely. I remember like sitting down to record ForceCenter and Googling to remember, like, was he listed somewhere, or did people just keep claiming it was true? And he had that clarifying interview that he was in talks, but like, it was close. But it's like I never got into costume. I never shot anything.
Just there. And all of it perhaps as a younger version of Palpatine on Exegol, if I remember that correctly. But hey, whatever was the case, it did not happen. But we have him now. So, Jen, you were talking about it. What do we like about him potentially getting this part in this project over Episode 9? Would you have wanted him as young Palpatine, Saves the Day, which sounds like a sitcom? And what are you excited about what he brings here?
I'm so glad he was not in 9. So much was happening in 9 that then having Matt Smith, who is very well known, at least in our circles, right? Matt Smith there, it would have been distracting. It probably would have been small, maybe a smaller role. I don't know, hard to say. But I feel like if he is a true villain of Starfighter, he'll get his moment to shine. He is so great. And I've only watched season 1 of House of the Dragon, but I loved him in that because I didn't know that he could go there. And he's a very, very good actor. And I can't wait to see what he's going to bring because he brings like an edge, but it's a different kind of edge. I can't describe it. But I'm excited. I'm happy that Episode 9 would have been too much.
I agree with that. It would have been like when you're, it's like a charity concert and there's 13 rock stars from 10 different bands on stage and you just can't, it's just overwhelming. It's overwhelming. So I agree with that. And if it was in fact the young Palpatine thing, you give me Ian McDiarmid on screen as long as we can. Also, happy birthday to Ian. I think he's 81 this week here. Yeah, so worth the wait with Matt Smith. Worth the wait. I am, Joseph will dive into the Doctor Who of it all. I was obviously familiar with him, not familiar with his performance in Doctor Who as much. But love him in House of Dragon. Season 2, he gets even darker, more disturbed, Jen. And he kind of won me over. He didn't need to win me over. He was already accomplished. He's not waiting for my decision on his career. But that was like my first. That was my first quality time with him. And it was like, oh, I get it. I get what this guy could do. And there's this uncontrolled, diabolical chaos that's aching to grow up in the character of Daemon Targaryen. And he plays it so well. And he's menacing. He's really menacing at times. And that is, again, nothing against anything he's done in the past because I didn't know all of this stuff in the past. But he's not just brooding. He's a threat. Anytime he's on screen, you're afraid. In the back of my head, you're like, he could explode and do something real fun and real violent and real bad. And it just then jumped off the screen. So that's kind of perfect for what we might be getting. But I turn to you, Joseph, for Doctor Who.
Yes, I to answer your main question, I'm way happier with him playing a main villain in his own film. I think if the rumors were true that, when Palpatine did the Force steal instead of the Force heal and took Rey and Ben's energy, I understand the logic of, and he turns into young Palpatine and they all have a cool lightsaber fight. Like, I understand the logic that would have got people there, but I'm really glad that people pumped their brakes and said, that would be a disservice to Ian McDiarmid and a disservice to Matt Smith. Exactly like you said. Too much concert. Like, great. Here's have a taco or a pizza. Have them on top of each other. Maybe it'll be good, but most of you just won't taste either of them. So I'm super glad that didn't happen and that Matt Smith gets to shine. The Doctor Who of it, I think I haven't watched House of Dragon, so just from the screenshots, he's looked menacing. So I'm really glad to hear that he has played super menacing. For the Doctor Who journey was really interesting because, David Tennant was the Doctor before him, and it was this huge splash of going younger and hipper and sexier. And I had loved Christopher Eccleston, so I had a little bit of a hard time with David Tennant, but he did a fabulous job, and he blew up the show, and in terms of its popularity, particularly in America. And then there's a new Doctor coming in, so he's still kind of got to be young, and a little bit of that sort of floppy-haired, lovable guy. And the news reports came out that they're casting like the youngest Doctor ever. And myself and many other kind of old school Doctor Who fans who are used to a middle-aged man were like, what, next report's going to come out and the Doctor's just going to be a baby. He's just going to be 2 years old next time, all right? Oh, you got to go younger and younger and younger. Okay, real grumps about it. And Matt Smith comes on and just like, it was glory because he had the youthful energy and the charm of David Tennant, but he played a 1,000-year-plus being with all of this heartbreak in his past in the body of a young man who could move fast and get excited. But in his eyes, he always played this ancient soul with all of this weight on him. And it was one of my biggest, like, I take back every grumbly thing I said at a bar about this man's age, because he played ancient soul so well. I think he has like great depth. I think he's a great actor, and he has this very specific old soul magic that I think he really brings out. And I don't know how much that's a part of his character on House of the Dragon, but with Star Wars, that I think often benefits from that, like actors being able to communicate very quickly, like Alec Guinness did. That's a name I've not heard in a long time, and you feel that weight of the past. He's so good at communicating that.
Yeah. I think the best moments for me with Daemon Targaryen, this is a powerful character, but it's when Matt Smith plays the quiet moments in which the character realizes what he's missing or lacking and can't face it. It's these wonderful quiet moments that kind of run throughout the show so far. And it's great villain territory stuff. I know sometimes we talk about, hey, just give us a big over-the-top villain, and I don't need the nuance right now in this world. We talked about on the Superman and the Fantastic Four stuff, but and I see this is going to be I feel this is going to be a fast-paced, rolling through the plot kind of movie. But he just needs 1 second on screen to get across this kind of stuff. So be fun. Fun.
Yeah. And I do still feel like we are now a step closer to all living Doctor Who actors appearing in Star Wars. I made a list, and there's a lot to go yet.
They're connected. They're really truly
get on
connected.
Get on it, Lucasfilm. You got a lot of living Doctors to cast yet.
Jen, any more thoughts on that flip-floppity youthful hair that Matt Smith might bring?
I remember that. You're so right. I remember that time. I think it was Comic-Con. When was he the Doctor? When was he?
He debuted in 2010.
2010. Yeah. Okay. That's so funny. Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, he's a hottie, whatever. But he was great. I too like Christopher Eccleston. He was my favorite. And then I was like, all right, I'll like David Tennant. And then Matt Smith, I was like, I'm not as big of a Doctor Who fan as you, Joseph. But I too had that reaction. I was like, huh.
Oh,
he's great.
Here we go.
He's great.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought he was absolutely fabulous. Yeah, and it might have been like 2011, 2012. Tucked away in a corner, Matt Smith and Stephen Moffat were having drinks, and I like legitimately had to walk past them to get to the bathroom. And what they were talking about was their favorite parts of the recent Doctor Who episode. Like they were fans. They're like, he's like, man, that line. He's like, no, but you delivered it so well. It's like, did you guys just do this because you knew a Doctor Who fan was walking by? Like,
here he comes. Do the line thing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Love that. Well, final big part of this is what he might be doing in the film. Like I said up top, there was a story out there that he might be some sort of ex-general or military related. None of that confirmed. Some of that might make sense. We know very little about the plot other than, Ryan Gosling might be taking a younger character to safety, maybe force related, maybe not. We don't know much about it, and I kind of like living in that right now. Wait to see what comes out officially. But let's dive in, Jen. Wild speculation about his role. What would we even want from a villain in this Starfighter picture, and what he can bring to it? Flippity floppity, young hair and all. That's now
Yeah,
older.
that's now older. I do want. I mean, obviously, we think Sith like dark side user, right? But then I thought, who's to say that he's going to be in human form? He could be, like voicing a character like Rio. John Favreau is Rio in Solo. He could be in alien makeup, so we don't even really see his face. Like, where are they, or we don't see his recognizable face or his floppy hair, right? Where are they going to go with this? That's my question. I think they could throw us a curveball.
What if he's Amon Calamari, but he has floppy, young British fop hair?
I was thinking the same thing, but Rhodian for some reason.
Solo, yeah, McClunky. Yeah,
awesome.
That's hilarious.
Jen, do you want how much do you want the Force? It's so early from this out. We're so far out from the film, but how much of the Force would you want in? Would you want a dark side user? Do you want him? Do you need Matt Smith with a lightsaber? Where do you go?
I liked what the Stranger was. I thought that was very effective. Although he technically he's a Sith, right? With the Stranger from the Acolyte.
I think it's left open to our interpretation. I think it's specifically not answered.
Right. I kind of like that. I think that could work. But would it feel redundant? I don't know. Would it be answered in maybe another film or TV show? Who knows? I'd like to see him, a dark side user of some sort.
Okay. Going for the dark side. Joseph, where do you go with any wild, unproven speculation about Matt Smith and Starfighter?
Multiple wild speculation and desires. I think that it would be cool if Matt Smith and Mia Goth were siblings or a species that specifically does have a similar vibe, because not only they're both capable of becoming creepy, like they kind of have a similar facial structure and they have kind of similar, very soulful, penetrating eyes. Like there's a great connection between the two of them, I think, on a sort of presence level in their physicality. So I think that would be great. Here's my wild desire. I want them to be some sort of dark side cultists. Like maybe they're users themselves, but they're just aligned with, a desire for the return of, maybe the Sith, or maybe just the dark side, or maybe they're just, kind of like the Knights of Ren, of like, we have our own word for the Force and we're kind of aligned with it, but for our own motives. I think something like that would be great. And also, like, I would like at least one of them to be an ace space pilot, because with everything we're discussing of like, okay, is it going to be another person escorting a child, which I'm real concerned about personally, because it's just been there a lot.
It happens. It happens a lot.
It happens a lot. It's like Star Wars is a saga about just extremely complicated babysitting. But we talked about that and who are the villains. We're like, it's called Starfighter, so like one of them better be in a ship. That I want, if it's called Starfighter, I want it to live up to that. And the poor Star Wars fans out there who like the space battles and the Rogue Squadron books are their number one thing in Star Wars, and they were teased with the Patty Jenkins. Like, this film better live up to the name Starfighter, in my opinion. So I want them to be brother and sister dark side cultist ace space pilots.
It's real simple. It's direct. It's right there.
Yep.
I'm with you on it. For some reason, when I first heard this casting, I went to two things. I won't say I thought of Mia Goth and Matt Smith as siblings, but I thought of them maybe as a Bonnie and Clyde, like criminal underworld couple or something like that. But siblings can work too. And he's from Game of Thrones, so there's always some weird tension with your siblings or family.
It could be both. Yeah,
it could be both here. But then I also went to like Griff Tannen and Back to the Future too. Just some over the top. maybe half cybernetic, kind of monstrous, kind of uncontrolled character that maybe knew Gosling's character back in the military days. We're maybe going to be 5 years out from the end of episode 9 in that era. So maybe they fought on Exco. Maybe there's some kind of connection. I do like the idea of touching the dark side, but I also just want to touch the chaos. I think that's kind of where I want Matt Smith to take us, and Mia Goth. And yeah, I agree with you. Starfighter, let's get some pew pew in space. And I think that's going to happen with Matt Smith.
Mm-hmm. The Biff Tannen thing's really funny. Like maybe that's the plot. Is there some sort of a sports history holocron that they're stealing?
The kid can predict all pod races, past and present and future. You need that.
Yeah. In terms of like, just a quick question for both of you. Like, we're talking about like what kind of villain they are, and yeah, this film is going to set up some stuff that we about the era of time. But I think also a lot of people really want standalone films. Whoever they are, I hope that it leans towards the film itself, a small scale conflict with like big emotional stakes. I think the model that Skeleton Crew did was great. We were connected to these kids who needed these things, this group of pirates in this central mystery of this one planet. And it was small scale in galactic terms, but felt really high stakes. And that's the kind of thing I'm hoping for. Is that where you're at, Ken? Do you want this to be a setup for, and then the holocron will appear in Rey's adventures, or do you want this to be more Skeleton Crew-like?
I think a little more Skeleton Crew, and that also could be because I'm rewatching that right now and just having an absolute blast living within kind of a self-contained world that touches the bigger Star Wars story through references and even to kind of the stuff at the end. So yeah, if it's related to these characters and it's related to the adventure, it's related to, like you said, the small stakes, but there's some bigger ramifications, especially if it is a child who has some kind of force abilities, and we're in this kind of what do we do with that now kind of thing. I don't need it to run right into another film. And I think there's a benefit to just kind of having this one adventure. But I'm with you on that, where beyond just these three, there's obviously going to be more characters. But yeah, having some sort of organization unhappy with what's going on, having a big climactic fight at the end, all those kind of big picture kind of plot points and stuff are going to be needed. But in terms of the Star Wars story, I want self-contained, but knowing that the edges are going to run into the bigger story.
Mm-hmm. Where are you at, Jen?
I agree. I think that will help it appeal to a broader audience. It makes it less intimidating. And I think for this big picture, that's what they're going to need. But for those who know, we're going to see those overlapping things, or like you're talking about, Ken, touching on things where it's like, oh, could this be, or whatever. Maybe they'll have books that come out at that time connecting to larger storylines or larger events. But I want it to be more self-contained. I just think that'd be much more fun for me. So I'm not having to pull out my chart with all the events that have happened. Yeah, exactly.
But it's like even some of the stuff at the end of Skeleton Crew, it's like you could have had Mothma or Leia show up, right? You could have had someone show up at the end, and it didn't, but it was connected to it. That kind of vibe is where I'm trying to groove to.
It's so, I think Skeleton Crew is just sort of masterful in, if you're an all-in Star Wars fan, it connects. You can have fun with like the Order 66 implications and all sort of the Mun bankers being on that planet speaks volumes if you're an all-in Star Wars fan. Who's on that ship? Who's coming from all that? There's all sorts of rich stuff, and you don't need to know a single damn thing if you're not an all-in Star Wars fan. None of that is plot or emotion necessary. And I loved Acolyte, but it didn't end up being as separated. It ended up being like connected to the mystery of the Sith, and Yoda's showing up, and I think that Skeleton Crew vibe of you really don't need to know anything is wise for this film.
And that might be what those executives are saying in the Disney offices.
Yeah. The thing I think it will do is establish the state of the galaxy. And that I'm really intrigued by, of, there's the risk of being repetitive of Ryan Gosling, flies with the new Republic, or, more interesting, like the galaxy couldn't reform and there are 8 governments now in the galaxy that we used to know. And there's this huge sandbox of factions. And
well, that's kind of intriguing. That's interesting. Like a post World War I Europe.
Yeah, like nobody can agree, and everybody's like, maybe we're a little bit better off. Like, so each sector is going to be kind of its own thing. Like, just from a storytelling perspective, it just gives you a lot more factions to play with, and it's different from what Star Wars has often been.
I like that. Jen, do you want this to comment on the loss of the Ottoman Empire?
Oh my God. Sure. I gotta go back to my history. Watch the History Channel.
Just watch Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. George has got it.
Oh my gosh. With River Phoenix? Wait.
No.
Phoenix? No. Which one?
With
Sean Patrick Flannery.
Sean Patrick Flannery.
Oh, it's Sean Patrick Flannery. Wait, where was River Phoenix? Am I wrong? Was he not?
He was Young Indy in Last Crusade. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
It's okay.
We'll
do a full rewatch here on the channel. Don't worry about it.
I know. You guys did, right?
Of the movies, not of the Young Indiana.
Movies.
Yeah,
Right.
I think we both personally rewatched the show, but we didn't cover it.
Yes, it's great.
Yeah.
Love the show. Anyways, sorry, I distracted you. But anyways, final thoughts, Jen, on Matt Smith and Starfighter.
No, I got nothing. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed.
Maybe the whole plot, Jen, is Gosling taking this kid to a space water park, and he just wants to get down the slide.
Yes. And then when the kid's like scared, he doesn't. Yeah. Maybe that's it. Maybe Matt Smith is an evil parent who like forces their kid to go down the slide.
Yes.
You're going to do it. Force push.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe.
There you go. Joseph, any final thoughts on Matt Smith and his maybe flip-floppy hair coming to Star Wars?
I'm really excited. I think he's a phenomenal actor, and different actors handle post Doctor Who world differently. And he's been very like, I'm going to really do lots of different things right away. So I'm not just a Doctor Who. And I think he's done a fantastic job of people who love him. He's Doctor Who, and he shows up, at conventions, not super specific Doctor Who conventions, but anyway, point being, I think he's a fabulous actor, and I'm really excited for him being there.
There you go. I am as well. We'll keep you updated as the cast continues to grow and the reports become hopefully official. And we're also very rapidly approaching the Mando and Grogu press push. I think it's going to be sooner than later, and we'll start. We don't even know who all is in that film.
It's less than a year till that film, right? I mean, May 2026, and we're in August 2025.
Yep. Yeah. You got D23 at the end of the month. I think things could start dropping, and we'll have a lot to talk and speculate on there. Like, will Grogu say his first words? We'll find out. Keep you updated. All right, let's do some Star Wars mini questions here. Having a lot of fun doing these. Thanks for all of you out there who are interacting with these, either on Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, or on TikTok, ForceCenter Show. Give us a follow over there. All right, if you had to go on a road trip with a Sith Lord, who would you pick? Jen?
This is really difficult. And I'm reaching in to a character some may know, Darth Talon. And the reason why is she's loyal. Okay. I don't think she'd kill me. I think she'd be a Sith lady. And I think we would have a lot of fun and be like Thelma and Louise. We could just do all sorts of fun adventures. I wouldn't hurt anyone. If she did, I'm not responsible for what she does. But I just know we could walk in anywhere. Yeah. We could get free drinks. No one would mess with us. She'd be like my bodyguard, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Perfect. I like that answer. I like that a lot. Joseph, what Sith Lord do you have on your journey?
For me, this was an easy choice of Maul. And I realized that he isn't always technically a Sith Lord, but that would make him feel even better if I was like, hey, I have a Sith Lord road trip, and I think you count, Maul. I would like you to come with me. I think it's Maul because he is evil, but chatty. He's the loneliest of all Sith Lords. So I think he would be like real grumpy at first, but then as we started to have funny stories, or we discovered a favorite weird regional candy bar, he would open up a little bit, and he'd be interested in stopping at weird roadside attractions and seeing the giant fake dinosaurs on a cliff. Dooku would be disgusted by my Toyota Yaris. Maul, I think, would be into it.
That's a great answer. Great reasoning. I almost thought of Maul, but I'm going with Darth Plagueis the Wise. Almost for the exact opposite of what you're thinking when it comes to Maul. Is I, after a certain amount of time on the road, kind of just enjoy the stoic quiet of the trip. And I think Plagueis would be less interested in being discovered, seen. He wants to stick in the shadows, and he's just going to stare out the window of my car and watch the country unfurl in front of him. Whereas, like, Palpatine would, have you, like, could you go in and get me a Slim Jim? Like, I'd have to run a lot of errands. I think Plagueis might go in and get his own snacks. I might have to. But I like low pressure traveling. I like, do you know how to check in the hotel? Do we know where to get gas? Do we know our way through airports? And I think, I think that's why Plagueis is my choice. The worst, I think, would be Dooku.
Oh,
high
God. He wouldn't do it.
expectations. Yeah. High expectations.
Maybe a limo. Yeah.
Maybe a limo. You need a solar sailor. That seems very complicated to travel in. I don't like that.
Yeah, I think Plagueis is such a great pick because of that great lurking shot of him in the Acolyte, and I think we need our friend Brian Ward to make a graphic of Plagueis lurking in a gas station bathroom.
As we watch Jen and Darth Talon fly. Perfect. All right. We had a lot of fun doing this last time, so let's do it again. Let's say something nice about Bib Fortuna. Joseph?
He would have made an excellent hand model if he had made better life choices. One of my favorite little shots in Return of the Jedi is when he brushes R2's dome and does the elegant little finger movement there. He should have been on the HoloNet version of QVC. I think he would have ended up much happier in life than the way he ended up at the end of Boba Fett's blaster.
I agree with this. I think Bib Fortuna is the perfect number 2, a major domo with all the skills just pointing at that. When he had the chance to run it by himself, things fell apart. He couldn't hold on to the power. He bloated up on his own power, but when he was running Jabba's palace, it was tight. It was a tightly run ship. Only Jabba's hubris brought it down. It wasn't Bib Fortuna. And I think also he was treated a little poorly by Jabba. And could have used a little more respect. So if I'm going to run a lair, I want Bib Fortuna there with me.
I would tell Bib, you are loyal, and there is no one closer to Jabba the Hutt than Salacious B. Crumb and you. You're a good henchman, a good friend, and your face is just naturally scary that you don't have to do much to terrify visitors. Resting Bib face.
Resting Bib face. Hashtag that, please, everyone. Good old Bib. Next time, maybe we'll do Beezer Fortuna.
Oh, Beezer Fortuna. Yeah, he's in rough shape. I don't think people want to Wonga with him the way they want to Wonga with.
I don't want to Wonga with any of them.
Do you want to Wonga?
No.
Love that. All right. Final one of the day here. What's a moment in Star Wars that lifts your spirits, Jen?
This deal is getting worse all the time. I don't know why. that quote came to me in the shower this morning. I had been reading something on the news about like 2 media companies merging, and Lando came in my head. I've said it, family disagreements. You can really use it anywhere in your life. It's just always relevant. And it makes me chuckle in dark times.
It's very relatable.
So it's Lando's frustration and also a peek into his soul that he knows he's maybe done wrong and that we all can find a better way. This is where it kind of hits you.
That's right. Well said.
Do you think he has an Orabish tattoo that says that? Because I think that is a thought he's having that thought during the events of Solo, right? Like, oh, this deal is getting worse all the time.
That's right.
Love that.
Yes.
A lot of moments to choose from, Joseph, but what is a moment that lifts your spirits?
Yeah, I went to one that is meaningful, but also there's some parts of it that I find amusing in a good way. I love the Return of the Jedi moment of "I am a Jedi like my father before me."
Mm.
The powerful part of it that makes me happy is that Luke feels totally at peace. Luke feels like I get it. This is who I want to be. This is the choice I want to make. I have completed. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I have completed my journey. It's so beautiful that he's at peace, throwing the weapon aside. It's such a great piece of writing that he wanted to be a Jedi because of his father. He didn't understand what that meant at all, and now he does. So it's really beautiful. It lifts my spirits. It also it makes me laugh sometimes because it is also like a double fu to Palpatine. You're not getting me, and you never really had my dad. Fu twice, Palpatine. And I always imagine cutting to a shot of Vader. Like my father before me with a little head nod. Shot to Vader being like, yeah.
Yeah. Love that.
Love you, son. Yeah.
I almost went to Return of the Jedi for a small moment, and it is Wicket kind of cuddling Han when he hears of the bad things happening to Han. And that maybe we all just need a furry little friend to kind of give us support. I think there's some uplift in that. But lately, because of what's going on in my life or just some of the attitude shift I'm kind of infusing into my soul, I go to Leia speaking to Rey at the end of Last Jedi, and we have everything we need. And how simple that is. It could be Star Wars bumper sticker wisdom, but there's a great truth in that. And just meeting Rey at that moment where things are literally broken in front of her, but Leia, who's been broken many times and has gone through so many things, but remains steadfast and can see the truth. And just that absolute kind of truth. We have everything we need. It's hard to see sometimes, but it is there. So thank you, General Leia. I really needed that. All right. That's it. We've done it. We've done another episode of ForceCenter News. More to come. Number 781 in the main show series, man. We've been doing this for a long time, my friend. Wait, you can find us on social media at ForceCenter Pod. Don't forget, we are now on TikTok. That's right. We wouldn't have said that 10 years ago because we wouldn't have known. It would have been just a weird dancing channel if we had done that early on. You can find us there at ForceCenter Show, Facebook pages, ForceCenter Podcast. As a podcast, we are available everywhere. Don't forget, on Sunday, we release the audio-only versions of Databank Brawl, the classic series we did from 2016 to 2020. We've been rebroadcasting that, and we're into the 80s on that series. Merch available at TeePublic still if you'd like, or as we said up top, Fourth Wall, links down below here on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like, leave a nice comment, all those good things to help us fight the robots as we move forward in the algorithm world. Patreon.com/ForceCenter is where you can support us and get into our Discord there. You can follow me at Cadnapsuck. Not my website right now because that's been taken down apparently because of a billing issue. Thank you, Weebly, for that mess. Anyways, just follow me at Cadnapsuck across social media platforms. It's not easy to fix. Something's happening. It's driving me crazy. Anyways, doesn't matter. Chad, where can they find and follow you?
You can find me on most of the social media sites at Jennifer Landa or TikTok, sometimes at Jennifer Landa 1138.
Sometimes we got to get more Landa TikToks. Come on now.
I know. I have ideas. Just no time.
All right. Well, you have everything you need. All right. I'm sorry. No.
Deal's getting worse all the time. What deal? I don't know. I just say it. It's just cathartic.
Wonderful.
I have been to a water park like my father before me.
Beautiful. Joseph, take us home. Thank you, sir.
I really like that almost all of us managed to work one grievance into our where can we be found? Like, what's your contact info? And one thing that's pissing you off this week.
It's that.
It really is. The lack of it. Anyway, you can find me on all the social media, Blue Sky in particular. I'm making some bad lunch choices this week. And you can also go to my website, josephscrimshaw.com, for more info on all my other stuff.
I respect that. Last night after my show, I had a plate of nachos and then ordered taquitos to dip into the nachos. The best bad decision I've done in a long time.
This deal is getting better all the time.
All right. That's it. We'll see y'all. See you next time here at ForceCenter.